The truth may surprise you. Have you ever looked at your adorable, purring feline and wondered, is my cat a stealthy bird assassin? Are they secretly wreaking havoc on our feathered friends? You've probably heard the claim, house cats kill millions of birds every year. It's an alarming image, right? Your sleepy couch potato turning feathered fiend the moment your back's turned. But here's the twist. Most of these shocking stats come from places like Australia and the US, where the ecosystems and the cats are a whole different breed of wild. Yet somehow we're importing their panic without checking if it even fits our backyard. So, before you start fitting your cat for a tiny orange jumpsuit, hold that thought. Today, we're diving into the top 10 truths about cats and birds. What's real, what's hype, and what might just flip the script on everything you thought you knew about your whiskered roommate. 10. The Great Cat Myth, or just a convenient scapegoat. Let's start with the classic. Cats are the villains of the bird world. It's an easy story to tell. Cats chase birds, birds die, the end. But the reality is far more nuanced. A large-scale study by BirdLife International revealed that habitat loss due to urban expansion and intensive agriculture is the #1 driver of bird population decline worldwide. In other words, we're bulldozing their homes, not just blaming the furry neighbor who likes to nap in the sun. Sure, cats hunt especially if they're bored or understimulated, but pinning the bird crisis solely on them? That's like blaming bees for honey shortages while ignoring climate change and pesticide use. 9. The indoor advantage, safety, and sanity in slippers. You might think letting your cat roam is doing them a favor. Adventure, freedom, fresh air. But here's the kicker. Indoor cats live 10 to 15 years on average, while outdoor cats often barely make it past 5. It's not just the birds who benefit. Indoor cats avoid getting hit by cars, poisoned by antifreeze, or contracting nasty illnesses like FIV. And get this, when given enough stimulation, indoor cats don't miss the outdoors at all. One owner shared how her cat went from a restless prowler to a lazy yoga buddy just by adding a cat tower, a window perch, and, wait for it, a rotating laser pointer. Moral of the story? Your cat can live like a king without ever setting paw on the pavement. 8. The feral factor. It's a whole different ballgame. Not all cats are cuddled, collared, and cooed at. Feral cats are a different species socially, and their effect on wildlife is significantly bigger than your average lap cat. In places with large, unmanaged colonies, these wild-born felines hunt for survival. According to a study published in Nature Communications, over 70% of the wildlife killed by cats in the US is attributed to feral populations, not pets. But here's the silver lining. Humane programs like Trap, Neuter, Return, TNR, are making waves. By capturing, sterilizing, and releasing feral cats, these programs stabilize colonies and gradually reduce their size. Cities like Rome and Chicago have seen measurable success with these strategies. So, before we throw all cats under the bus, let's be clear. Feral cats are a different puzzle, with a different solution. I'll never forget the story of Luna, a scrappy little feral cat rescued from a construction site. She spent her first months hiding under the couch, flinching at every sound. But with time, patience, and a window perch that caught the morning sun just right, she bloomed. Now she watches the birds from behind the glass, chirping softly, but safe, healthy, and very much at peace. Her hunting days are behind her, but her wild spirit? Still very much intact. 7. Birds' natural predators. It's a wild world out there. Let's zoom out for a second. If you think cats are the only ones giving birds a hard time, you might be surprised to learn they're just part of a long list of natural predators. Hawks snatch birds mid-flight. Foxes raid nests. Even squirrels, yes, bushy-tailed, nut-hoarding squirrels, are known to munch on eggs and chicks when no one's looking. Evolution didn't make birds fragile. It made them adaptable in a world full of hunters. In fact, researchers from the University of Exeter found that bird species in predator-heavy environments evolve sharper reflexes and more secretive nesting behaviors. The takeaway? Birds have been dodging danger long before Fluffy arrived on the scene. Blaming cats in isolation oversimplifies an ancient predator-prey dynamic. Nature is messy, and cats, while part of the equation, aren't the whole story. 6. The role of feeding stations, the accidental buffet table. Now, here's something that might make you rethink your backyard setup. That charming little bird feeder swinging from the tree? It could be turning your garden into an all-you-can-eat buffet for predators. Picture this, birds flock in, distracted by seeds and suet. Meanwhile, a stealthy cat crouches nearby, hidden by a bush or fence post. Ambush mode, activated. Cornell Lab of Ornithology recommends placing feeders at least 10 feet from dense vegetation and 3 feet off the ground. That gives birds a clear view and a fighting chance. Some folks even install motion-activated sprinklers to spook would-be stalkers. In Berlin, community-led cat-safe green spaces have popped up in city parks, where bird nesting zones are protected by low, unobtrusive fencing and signage. No drama, just design. It's not about taking feeders down, it's about setting up smarter. Because a safe buffet is a busy buffet. 5. Urbanization's impact, the disappearing sky. Here's a big one, and it's got nothing to do with claws or tails. Every new shopping mall, parking lot, or high-rise squeezes out green space. That means fewer trees, fewer insects, and fewer safe places for birds to nest, feed, and raise their young. A 2020 study published in Science showed that North America has lost nearly 3 billion birds since 1970. Not because of cats, because of us. Sprawling cities, glass windows, pesticide use, and constant human noise have all chipped away at bird habitats. One conservationist called it death by 1,000 cuts. And let's be honest, most of those cuts come from bulldozers, not whiskers. 4. The power of community action. It takes a village and maybe a bird bath. Can a few backyard tweaks really save birds? Absolutely, especially when an entire neighborhood joins the mission. Take the Bird Safe Community Project in the UK. In just 2 years, residents transformed their suburban streets into avian havens. Native plants, cat-proof fencing, and nesting boxes galore. The result? A noticeable increase in local songbird sightings and fewer reported predation incidents. In Toronto, the Cats and Birds Initiative led by Environment Canada has shown how education, signage in parks, and community outreach can reduce free-roaming cat numbers and improve awareness without resorting to harsh policies. It's not just about cats. It's about creating an environment where birds thrive, not just survive. And part of that is educating pet owners, not shaming them. When neighbors talk, share tips, and work together, real change takes flight. So yes, your garden can be ground zero for bird conservation. Just add a splash of teamwork. 3. The importance of data. Garbage in, panic out. Ever played telephone? You whisper one thing, and by the end, it's completely twisted. That's how cat versus bird data often gets handled. One media outlet cites a US study saying, cats kill billions of birds, but skips the fine print. Most of those kills are linked to feral cats in isolated ecosystems. And yet, boom, the headline spreads like wildfire. Your cat is an eco-terrorist. Scientific nuance gets flattened in the name of clicks. And policies based on sensationalism? Not great for anyone, feathered or furry. A Dutch review in 2023 emphasized the importance of local, context-specific studies over generalized foreign data. Because what's true for rural Australia isn't necessarily true for a park in Rotterdam. If we want smart solutions, we need smart science, not clickbait. 2. The balance of nature. Don't yank the wrong Jenga piece. Nature isn't a game of dominoes, it's more like Jenga. Remove the wrong block, and the whole system topples. Eliminating cats from certain ecosystems might seem like a quick fix, but research from the University of Cape Town showed that in some areas, removing cats led to an explosion of rats, who then did more damage to bird eggs and chicks than the cats ever did. Surprised? Most people are, because balance isn't sexy headline material. Cats play a role, sometimes even a helpful one, in controlling invasive rodents and stabilizing certain urban food chains. Every ecosystem is different, and yanking one predator without understanding the full picture can backfire big time. 1. Coexistence is possible. Harmony doesn't require a leash. Well, maybe a little one. Here's the best news of all. We can have our cats and our birds too. The solution isn't drama, it's design. More cat owners are opting for catios, yep, cat patios, supervised outdoor time, leash walks, and even high-tech collars that alert wildlife to a cat's approach. And guess what? It works. In the Netherlands, several municipalities have launched public awareness campaigns that focus on coexistence, not conflict. And early data shows, when people feel informed, not attacked, they actually want to do the right thing. Because in the end, this isn't about choosing sides. It's about building a world where your cat can bask in the sun, and the birds can still sing in the trees above them. In Melbourne, certain suburbs have introduced cat curfews, where cats must be indoors overnight, and surprisingly, most residents support it. Combined with public education campaigns, These measures have protected native birds and improved pet cat safety. So the next time someone says, cats are killing all the birds, you'll know. The story isn't that simple. It's layered, it's nuanced, and frankly, it's solvable. Cats aren't the villains. They're part of the system, and with the right strategies, they can stay part of the solution. If this gave you a fresh perspective, hit that like button to show some love for balanced thinking. Got a story about your own cat and bird encounters? Drop it in the comments. We read everything. And if you're tired of fear-mongering headlines and ready for more real talk about cats, birds, and the truth in between, subscribe now and join the movement. Let's stop the blame game and start building a smarter, kinder world for every creature in our shared backyard. Because the conversation doesn't end here, but it does get better when you're part of it. Just ask Luna.